begin to examine and think about possibility of lead. And that is one of the things that UNICEF and the Ghana Health Service and the other partners are doing to also equip our healthcare providers and to pick up some of these when
right. So that's why the Protect Every Child's Potential that's the campaign that your outfit is embarking on. Would you want to tell us more about it? What's it about? Protect Every Child's Potential, PECP. Can you shed some light on it?
Okay, so the PECP, Protecting Every Child's Potential, is a project that is being supported by UNICEF, by Pure Earth, and then by Clarios Foundation.
Right.
And the aim is to protect every child's potential, as you have said. Children are wonderful. You know, the world is like, there are no limits to their imagination, to what they can do. And I guess as children grow, they begin to see adults and say, okay, this is not possible, this is not possible. But when they are young, they can do anything. And that is wonderful. But we realize that lead affects the potential of these children. As I said, it decreases the ability to learn, to have memory, to develop, you know, mentally and in other facets. So the project is to create awareness, and that is what we are doing, one of the things we're doing. Secondly, is also to work with regulators and partners like EPA, Standards Authority, and FDA and other places to help regulation when it comes to lead-containing products and other things that might hamper the environment. It's also to build capacity of the health system. And we were mentioning a few moments ago that when I bring my child to the hospital and I have these symptoms, because they are quite general, the clinician must have the inkling to even ask about pains. Has the child been nibbling on pains? And ask a little about environmental history. Once it's detected, do we have the capacity to test the lead, the blood lead? And once we've tested it, can we treat it? And how about children who have had disabilities? Because some children have, behavioral or mentally deranged symptoms that perhaps is for life. Do we have the rehabilitative support for these children? So it's a whole range that the project is trying to at least raise the awareness and build local capacity. Right.
Doc, can we have a social media handle or a number or a website where our viewers can connect with you if we want to ask more questions, because we are hard pressed for time? Maybe you coming again, but until then, can we have where we can reach you?
Oh, you can reach us through numbers. I'll share my number 0501 31438. You can also go to the EPA website. You can go to the Ghana Health Service website. I believe the project has a website.
Yeah, the project also has a website. You can also, I give my number.
Yes, please.
0245 40 40 83.
Right.
0245 40 40 83. You can also go on the UNICEF page and you Google Protecting Every Child's Potential Ghana, and there's a write-up on some of the things that we want to do there.
Right. Thank you, gentlemen. Anything else we would like to add quickly before my producer rushes us out of here?
All we want to say is that let's be careful with our surroundings, especially when it comes to paint. When you're going to buy paint, make sure you ask whether the paint contains lead or not. There's a safety data sheet you can ask for and find out whether it contains paint or not. When you live in an old house and the paint is peeling, make sure children are not exposed, because children are more likely to be exposed than adults. They absorb the paint, the lead faster than adults, about 5 times faster than adults.
Wow.
And be careful where your children play. If you work in the lead recycling facility, your pregnant woman do not work in the lead recycling facility. But if you work there, don't bring your personal protective equipment home where the children can be exposed, and other things. But as we said, when you call us, we can share a lot more on the service because the time is short.
Thank you for coming.
Yes,
thank you for coming. So we've been having a conversation around lead poisoning, especially when it comes to children, because they don't even know when they pick it up. Adults don't even know when our kids pick up or when we pick up. But we can go to the EPA website. There's more information on that, the Ghana Health Service as well, and then also the website of Protect Every Child's Potential, PECP, where it's targeting children and trying to eliminate lead poisoning totally, guys. So we've had a conversation with Dr. Emmanuel Tremantin Amoa. He's the Deputy Program Manager, Occupational and Environmental Health Unit with the Ghana Health Service. And Mr. Lovelace Sapon, he's the Deputy Director, Environmental Protection Agency, guys. Thank you for passing through. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we are going to meet His Royal Blackness, KKD the Finest. Here's a quick break.
Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1.
Welcome back. I was about to say hi guys, but I couldn't say that. So our segment is by kindness of Airtel Tigo, and I can promise you we are going to have a very insightful and interesting conversation with Ghana's finest, His Royal Blackness KKD. This segment is made possible by Airtel Tigo. We'll take a quick detour for Airtel Tigo. Let us know what they have in store for Ghanaians, and then we'll get back into you and meet His Royal Blackness.
This is live from GBC Studio 1. This is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show.
Guys, I wasn't about to say guys, but I said it again. I had to change that. And so I have sitting on the yellow couch none other than His Royal Blackness, finest personified, KKD.
Hello.
So to be sitting across from you and speaking with you is actually a big dream come true. Yes, I'm actually quite, I don't know, I'll find a word for it later, but it's the vibes you give from your fashion sense, from your eloquence, how you love culture and try to mix it up with even the most trendiest of fashions.
It's very kind of you. Very kind of you.
So,
Thank you very
sir, it's a
much.
pleasure to have you sitting on our yellow couch.
And I'm delighted to be united with you today.
I said my started. So I'm going to ask you a question I'm sure every Ghanaian is dying to ask you.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. Are you a ladies' man?
Decidedly, yes.
A womanizer?
No.
Okay, explain.
You said, am I a ladies' man?
Yes.
Well, are you a ladies' man? Not all women are ladies. Not all girls are ladies.
Okay, can we just pause? Can we just pause? Do you intentionally speak like that? Do you break... How do you speak like this? Is it honed over time? Like, I'm so excited. I have so many questions to ask you. Okay, let's get back to the ladies' man one.
The whole idea is to speak softly and tread gently and live honestly, because at the end of the day, this world is not our home. We are all just passing through. But am I a ladies' man? The answer is decidedly yes. The reason being, not all girls are ladies, not all women are ladies. The ladies are the ones who like civility, who like culture, who like excellence, and who appreciate the finer things in life. And I try in everything that I do to work towards excellence, eloquence, and elegance. And ladies appreciate that. So I guess if I'm not even sure about the rest of the world, I can look at my mother, who is a delightful lady. I can look at my daughter, who is a delectable lady. My ex-wife, who is a lovely lady. And the love of my life now, who's an even more beautiful lady, and say, yes, I am a ladies' man.
Oh, I was going to ask you the woman in your life, but let me, how does it feel to be back here at GBC? Fond memories, nostalgia.
So many beautiful memories. I just saw Jasmine. When I started working at GBC, I think Jasmine had not even started work here. The beautiful lady who was responsible for all these beautiful sets here.
Set, yes.
And I've seen a few of the technicians that I've known for years, a few of the cameramen who also joined GBC, because don't forget, I started work at GBC when I was only 19 years old. I was 19 when I started work here, and my bosses were Joe Kofi, George Crabb, and Nick Adimado. And then my shift leaders later were Charlie Sam, Yao Asamoah, and Joe Reindorf. And just driving into GBC this morning brought back all these beautiful memories of me starting this broadcast career in the public service broadcaster, the national broadcaster, the biggest broadcaster in Ghana. And that career led me into media, brand management, culture and tourism promotion. And so I'm very thankful to GBC, and I'm very grateful to all the great people who have worked here before, every single one of them, from Mike Egan to Godwin Avenogbo to Charlie Sam, Bemo Himinkwetia, to my dear friend Tommy Ananforsen, to Lucy Banini, to Danny Amon, to Samson Queen. And yeah, just saying these names brings me so much joy, because back then there was no doubt that everybody going on air prepared. You know, the whole idea was, you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So you don't walk into the studio before you start worrying about what songs you're going to play. You dream about the songs you're going to play the night before, and you work out your playlist. You may have some additions that you put in your program, but you have a theme, and you make every song and every word you say go with the theme of the program. So when I would come on Sunset Melodies, for instance, I would play slow songs. I'll talk about love nut, love nut. The thing you love may change. The sweet lips may cease to smile on you. And the warm heart may still beat, but not for you. But in spite of this, we must love, for it is better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. Look into my eyes, darling, and see the love. And then look into my eyes, you'll see.
Oh my goodness.
You mean to me. So it was an art form. There was a science and there was a method to the madness, but it was an art form, and we knew that we were informing, we were educating, and we were entertaining. But for me, we were also elevating people, because there were people who were unhappy, people who had lost somebody in the family, somebody had been in an accident, somebody was ill. So every time you were on air, you wanted to do something to uplift somebody. You didn't know who, but you did what you did to uplift somebody.
Do you sometimes miss the studio, the microphones?
Every day.
What do you miss the most about the good old days?
What I miss the most about the good old days is just driving through Accra and seeing something very small and deciding to write a rhyme about it. And then on my next Pops on the Move, I come onto the program and I do a rap about it. You know, because there was one time I'd driven into Dansoman and I'd gone to a place where they sold kebab. You know, I would drive around Accra looking for places where they sold the best wache, or places where they sold the best cocoa and beans, the place where they sold. I was a culture vulture. So what I would do is...
You were. I think you still are.
I still am, but I think my culture vulture has now expanded to the rest of the world as opposed to in Ghana. Because when I was on radio in Ghana, I made it my duty to know everything that could be an attraction for the locals as well as the foreigners. And if I could taste it, and if I could say it was right, then I could talk about it. And that's what tourism is all about, moving people from one place to another. But to make tourism work, you need to build some brands.
Sure.
Because people are just going to go around for the generics. They're going to go around for something that is special, something that's unique, something that's one of a kind. And then I heard these two guys who were arguing about something. And the essence of this whole argument was the fact that none of them wanted to take responsibility. Every one of them felt it had to be government doing it. So I think on that day I got back into... I used to drive this Fiat Campagnola, which I bought when I was 18 with the help of my parents. A four-wheel drive for carrying my sound systems around. And when I got into the car, the first thing I did, we didn't have mobile phones then, was just pull a paper and write this rhyme. Here's a message from my brothers and my sisters in this country, on the continent, wherever you may be. I rap to you, calling on you to know that you are the ones to make your country grow. When you wake up in the morning, every day, the things you say, the games you play before the end of the day will determine the way. Success or failure depends on you, destroyer or savior, and asking you, what you gonna do to make this country better? Sit and watch or be a go-getter. Hustle and bustle, be a pace setter. Word from the brother called Dakwa. So I would take little things I would see, and I would put them in rhyme, and I would rap them on my program. And because of that, people in Accra would record my radio programs and go and sell them in Kumasi. And one of the guys who used to buy my programs week on week was Achami Kwame.
Oh! That's nice. Achami was here a couple of weeks ago.
I love him.
Oh, wow.
I love
wow.
him. He and his wife are such a good example for every young couple in this country.
Yeah.
I love him.
Achami is a favorite on this set. We like him on this set. KKD, you've been around for the longest time ever, and everywhere you go, you preach proper professionalism.
Very necessary.
The media back then, where you started from, where you helped grow, and the media now, what are your thoughts?
I think the media now, to be very fair to all of you, you're doing good. Anybody who says you're not doing right is being unfair to you. The simple truth is that, you see, you have a garden. You have some beautiful flowers in the garden. If you want the flowers to grow, some weeds will grow too. So you need to spend some time to tend that garden, water the flowers, uproot the weeds. Now, when the managers of the different networks fail to uproot the weeds, and interestingly, weeds grow faster than flowers.
Sure.
The weeds will overcome and overpower the flowers, and then the weeds become the status quo. So not only in the mainstream media, but also with social media, And with the fact that you're trying to drive a crowd to your site or to your platform, because the more hits, the more likes you get, the more income you make, professionalism naturally will suffer, because if there is a possibility of me publishing an untruth which is so sensational that it will get a lot of people to come to my site, I will publish it. If all I am is a profit-oriented animal. Well, but if I have some ethics, if I have some morals, then I'm going to say, well, lesson number 1 in media: when in doubt, leave it out. When in doubt, leave it out. Lesson number 2 in media: how can I move the crowd? First of all, ain't no mistakes allowed. So when in doubt, leave it out. No mistakes allowed. And then lesson number 3, whatever it is I'm saying about somebody, if it was said about me without verification nor justification, would I be happy with it? Now, if we do that, we're not only being good broadcasters, we're not only being good media people, we're just being good humans. And you see, we're serving humans. We talk about how we're educating, informing, entertaining. We're not entertaining pythons and vultures. We're doing it for humans. So if we will just look at how much money can I make, we're no different from the drug dealer. We're no different from the one who goes to import tampons from some country which he knows are not healthy, but because he can sell them for cheap, he will make a profit. And then when we take payola before we play the products of culture of our own people. I have never taken payola in my life. In fact, I have never taken a bribe in my life. And I can say this publicly because anybody, when you can say things publicly, you can say, oh, but you've been with a lot of tall girls. Okay, I'll be guilty on that one. But I've never taken a bribe in my life. I've never taken payola, because when a musician has gone to the studio, spent his resources, first and foremost his talent and his gifts, found money from family and friends to pay for studio time, to make a product of culture, because essentially that's what music is. Music is a product of our culture. And our airwaves are for Ghanaians to benefit from. We may promote others, but we must spend our airwaves to promote more of our own, as they do in the United States, and as they do in India, and as they now do in Nigeria. So when I look at a young DJ who comes on air and is so keen on playing more music from any other place than Ghana, the first thing I say is he needs to be taken off air and retrained, because he doesn't even understand why he's on air. See, in the royal language, it says here kasa ye kan ni ye kan kwasumu kasa. Mas ye kan hemfo kasa ne ne yakuma so kasa. In the royal language, we say sabi eduane a wenhu bi o maami mu chi aso no na wuchi. Yan kasa ye nyom a ye ye no enya nyomfo. From KJC through Konimo, through Nana Kwame Ampedu to Kojo, through your friend Sabranti Amachi, the day through Nana to 4, all these years, and Abesi Jackie. We make beautiful music. Now, so Yanka Sansuya, ya who say, now what person but when you have the opportunity to use the Ghanaian airwaves, you owe a responsibility to the Ghanaian public to give us a minimum of 70% of your airtime playing our own.
Right. Let's take a quick detour from all the media lessons we are getting today. We're taking a quick break. Here's a quick break, guys.
Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. And so we're still continuing our conversation with the finest. I mean, he has a fashion sense that most people would die for. I mean, sometimes even if you get a stylist, you don't get to look at this fly. What are your thoughts? I mean, I know you have a knack.
Knack.
Charlie, the pressure is too much in the studio. Is allowed.
That's all right.
We know you have a knack for picking out unique fashion styles. Okay, what's your thought on blending culture with fashion?
It's an interesting thing, and I don't think we talk about this enough. Fashion itself is one of the subsets of culture. I see a lot of people who go, maybe I'm in fashion. Oh, that's me, I don't like fashion. Oh, me and some more fashion. Let me tell you what. If you're not a nudist, you're into fashion.
Right.
If you don't walk around naked, you're into fashion. The only thing is, you see, there's a fashion food chain. At the very top of the food chain is the haute couture, where, you know, handmade garments, right?
Yeah.
And then beneath the haute couture, you come to the super brands. The super brands like Chanel, Dior, you know, Bottega Veneta, and co. And then beneath the super brands are the designer brands. And then beneath the designer brands are the high street stores. So the designer brands are Prada, Gucci, you know, all the brands, you know, Kofi Okujeto, Pistis. These are all designer brands. But Pistis does some haute couture as well, because there's some particular things they do that are handmade. That takes more man hours, right? And so beneath the designer brands, you come to the high street stores. So you have your Marks and Spencer, you have your Selfridges, you have your Harrods. So they sell designer, but they also sell store brands. Then beneath the high street stores are the budget stores.
Right.
So there's a brand in Ghana, Atmosphere. The name of the shop is a very, very popular place. That's where every young person in London now goes to buy stuff. Atmosphere, Primark, good, Primark. You know, some of the cool kids in London call it Primarni. So it's like they're mixing up with Armani, Giorgio Armani, right? And then beneath the budget stores are the thrift stores.
Right.
The thrift stores are the charity stores and places where when people haven't been able to sell their stock and they have rejects, they can give it to them for nothing.
Right.
And then they can also sell it for cheap. So there you can get used clothing and all that. And used clothing has become a very big thing all over the world. The sad thing is Ghana is becoming a dumping ground for used clothing.
Yeah.
And so I'm praying that our environmental people start looking at it. People need to sort goods out before they bring them here. And I think they should ban used brassieres and used underwear. That's totally unacceptable. So people find their level based on their income. So there's some people who are very comfortable with the super brands because of their income. And you see, the thing is, you may not have much, but as soon as you have plenty, you start realizing that, oh, even though a Kia is a good car, a Bentley would be nicer.
Way better.
So don't be nasty to those who are driving Bentleys. Would you mind now you say Bentley in your car? Would you buy Bugatti so in your bad? You know? So once you know about all this and you have found your level, you are into fashion. Because there's some people who only go to the thrift stores, they go to the charity shops, But some, they want
Step up
something
a
brand
little.
new. But once you find your level, whatever you can afford, then you find color, occasion, weather, style. Color, occasion, weather, style. That's how we all dress. What's your favorite color? What's the occasion? What's the weather going to be like? Is it going to be snowing? Is it going to be raining? Is it going to be steaming hot? And then what's the style that looks good on me? So if you have such a beautiful face, but you're bodacious, you don't want to wear skimpy clothes because they just don't look right. You're going to be printing all over you with your underwear. The scaffolding you're wearing beneath your dress is going to be showing and all that. So you wear something flirty but also floaty. So color, occasion, weather, style. And for men generally dress to look like we're in armor. So we want to dress so that we look like we have a V shape. Even the pot-bellied men are trying to do that, except for some who have totally given up. They have decided, they have told their wives, this time when you're pregnant, let me know, I'll carry the baby for you. So, and it do salad now, and you boo because you should sweet out too many. So everybody likes fashion.
Right.
Everybody likes fashion, but everybody goes, wait your fashion. They be open fashion.
Don't do it.
But they be a open ya kakra. You move be wa and ya na ye pese ye di kan eye. And so even in London, I mean, when Ava and I, my lovely human being, Ava's she was the vice president of BET International, so we would go to galleries together around the world, and wherever we would go, people would ask, can we take pictures of you? Because she dresses exceedingly well. And the next thing you know, those people will send pictures to Ava, and then 7 months down the line, they'll be rocking Ava's look from head to toe. And you should see her when she's working on the BET Awards. Oh my God. Drop dead gorgeous. I mean, she drips swagger.
You are dripping swagger. I can. There's a card in your hat.
Yeah.
Finest. Is it your own fashion tool?
It's a little quirk of mine. Okay. I used to put Ava's picture in my hat, and then we had a fight, and then in that week when I was going out, I put my daughter's picture in my hat, and then my daughter and I had an argument. So I needed something to put in my hat, and I didn't want to put my own picture there.
Yeah.
And my mother's pictures that I had, I didn't want to cut them up with the scissors to fit the shape I wanted. So I had playing cards at home, which, friends and I play, and I just looked for one with king on it and put the king there. Because, because you didn't hear King George. Because you didn't hear King George, and I'm here for So I put the king there. And then when I went out, this was in London about, how many years ago? About 14 years ago. And everybody went, oh my, that's cool, but what's that?
Yeah, that's your own.
It's just a little quirk.
Well, that's fine. You're also passionate about tourism. It's a big thing for you. What do you think as a country we are not doing right?
I would rather talk about what we are doing right and what we may add, because the boss of the Ghana Tourism Authority right now is my younger brother. I love him so much and I want to see him succeed. And I think he has done exceedingly well with Year of Return. Exactly. Great work. I mean, I just wish that more locals would have created programs, because I am an art buff. I wanted to see more of our fine artists have exhibitions. I wanted to see more of our sculptors have exhibitions. I also want to see that at least wherever we call a tourist attraction, 5 miles to that place, the road is good. So no matter how bad the road you travel to get there, 5 miles before you get to that tourist destination, the road is good. If not, by the time you get there, you're so upset that you can't enjoy anything. One of my brothers is a great lecturer and a presenter on your set these days. You ask him. He went on a program in South Africa. The road leading to where they are going is smooth. We can do the same here. We can't just bring people here and then they have to drive on rough roads. If and you'll be on a rocky road, meminko tourism near Yakoda tent, they be me tourism and made a 5-star, 6-star hotel.
Right.
And then also I think all waiters need to get a certificate. Every waiter and every tour guide needs to get a certificate. We think they don't matter. You bring a foreigner to be your general manager of a hotel as though you don't have qualified Ghanaians to do that. That upsets me. And then you keep the locals doing the lowest, dirtiest jobs as though they cannot rise into positions of authority. That also upsets me. But whoever you keep at the top, whether he's African, European, American, or Oriental, he does not engage with the people who come to your facility. It is the waiters and the porters who do. So let's have this thinking that the lowest common denominator in every company of ours must be as smart as the CEO, or at least must be given all the tools he needs to represent the CEO. Because if you truly are a king, your courtiers must look like they work in the court of a king.
Right. We are hard pressed for time. I know you know how this works, but final. What are you up to these days? What takes up your time?
What takes up my time is the Finest Media Brands and Culture Limited, my company that does media brands and culture promotion. So one of the brands we manage now is Golden Tree, which I love very much. Another one of the brands we've managed for over 31 years is the Nayaka brand, Omama by Nayaka Freak, which we're growing internationally now. And then Heritage Apparel, which is my clothing company, mostly for exports. And in addition to that, the Chidako Foundation for Culture and Communication, where I help young people in the media space and small enterprise setups to start their businesses.
Okay, so on the fashion tips and all of those, can we call you up, send you messages, everybody, if someone is going out, people in the media, people in the public space, can they reach out to you?
They do already, but I've had a problem where I've had to block one of my numbers recently because I was getting too many ladies sending me their naked pictures.
Ladies sending you their naked pictures.
And you know, sometimes I respond by saying, I think you sent your pictures to the wrong number. And then they come back and say things like, oh, Mr. KK, especially for you. Miss Ramo, my queue is already too long. I don't need those. Why? Damas.
So Nanoisi, that's his royal blackness for you. Ladies, stop sending him your nude photos. He says the queue is too long, guys. So, but he's been giving us some serious tips on the media, on how to manage our own Ghanaian content, on fashion.
I have a question.
Yes, darling.
Do you age?
Yes. I age in my knee. You know, I had an operation. I'm a knee meniscus. So whenever I feel like I'm too young, my daughter says, Dad, watch your knee.
That's a quick reminder.
So, you know, a lot of people think my walking canes are for swag. They're actually, you know, I use crutches for a whole year, you know. And interestingly, when I was using crutches, people thought it was for fashion because I learned to carry them nicely.
Really well.
I have this adage that you must always tread softly and walk like a king, or like it doesn't matter who is king.
What surprised you most in your career?
Surprised?
Yeah.
What surprised me most in my career was the fact that people did not recognize that there was more room at the top than at the bottom. And that if you got to the top, you need to lend a helping hand to others and pull them up. People think too much about competition instead of collaboration. And I think if we collaborate more, Ghana, without a doubt, will be the leader globally in media, because we speak more clearly than most. That's a fact. We speak very clearly as Ghanaians, whether they come from the Volta region, the Fanti area, the Ashanti, or the North. Ghanaians speak very clearly, and we are very civil, very humble, and very respectful. And these are things that are very necessary in every media space. I see what Trevor Noah is doing in America now, and I'm happy for him as an African. He's from South Africa, and look at what he's doing in America. Now, if we all will lend a helping hand to others, they may be greater than us, but they will mention us someday, as I have mentioned others today.
Hold the thoughts. We're going to take a quick detour to make some money. We're going to make some quick money. We are coming back.
He knows how it works.
Yeah, he knows how it works. We are taking a quick break.
Studio One, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio.
We are having fun in the studio. We wish we didn't have to go.
No,
but we have to go because we are a state-owned media. KK, the last. My producer is going to kill me. But you've written 4 books. You've authored 4
And
books.
I haven't published them. Because the one I want to publish first is called The Triumphs and Trials of Raising My Children as a Single Father. And it still has a lot of pain in it. Now, I want the book to inspire people. So I read it over and over again and I soften the pain because I want it to be a happy book. And the other one is called Dress As You Wish to Be Addressed. And then The Spice of Life by KKD. And I keep writing because every morning I write a rhyme and I write something inspirational. And then I do a little research on media and culture. And that's what my life is about. You know, I was brought here into this world to serve God Almighty and to live my life in a manner as to make people want to appreciate excellence, eloquence, and elegance. And that is the life of His Royal Blackness.
Eloquence.
Yeah.
Elegance.
That's the 3 E's he represents. We've had an amazing time today. Today our breakfast table has been packed with lots of interesting and insightful conversations. The last bit we spent on a yellow couch with his royal blackness. The hashtag to follow is GTV Breakfast.
Blue socks.
There's more on our website.
Did you see the blue socks?
Yes, I've seen it. There's more on our website, GBC Online, and so we have behind the scenes. We have some of the some conversations we couldn't have on air. All of those are on our website, GBC Online. The hashtag to follow is GTV Breakfast, Ashanti Cultural Week, and also KKD.
Last, you haven't said one M in your interview.
Because
how do you do that?
The reason is, you know, because you said I haven't said one M, I intentionally went for a reason. It's a very, very bad mannerism. And we need to tell people that unless you're using it for effect, let every word you use be intentional. Let every sound you make be intentional. And remember, you are not in the bedroom playing with your pubic hair. You are in the public speaking with flair.
Okay.
He speaks in sound
We are
bites.
not-
Because then you
Thank
get
you
quoted.
guys for staying with us. KKD.
Pubic
Thank you.
public.
Hey, Asante.
You saw-
And then
you saw
there
what-
was
you saw what
Sank
happened,
out front. And then there was Sank out front. I just put all of us
I
in
can just
trouble.
imagine what you have been wearing, man. I can just imagine.
I just put all of us in trouble.
Thank you.
Thank you for.
No, guys, I saw it